Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Monday, December the 23rd. The year's 2019. Let's talk trading. What to do while you wait? As you know, there's so much time spent waiting. You click the mouse, now you wait for price to do something. Hopefully it moves in your direction. Then you're deciding when to take profit. Then you take profit. And then you wait to see when it's time to enter again. But during that time, what exactly do you do while you wait? I mean, there's passive waiting. You can just kind of sit back, relax in your chair, stare at the screen, and see if price hits a line, your profit line or area. See if it gets near your stop loss area. You could just do that. Or perhaps you can actively wait where maybe you look at the 1 minute chart or the 5 minute chart. You start to look at the candle formations. You start to see how price is reacting around certain levels. You might even have some squiggly line indicators, or you might have some gauges and you want to see how far price is away from the open or from the current daily high or previous daily low and things like that. Is it how far away is it from the VWAP? Is it approaching it from the top or the bottom? You might have some support resistance or supply demand indicators. It's like when you start to look at different charts, oh, is it in a 1 minute supply area? Is price going to reverse on me right at this level? Should I take my profit, or maybe it'll bust through and go to the next supply level? Things like that. So what do you do? I mean, there's so many things you can do. And of course, one of the most important things to do, you can start to think about your risk and money management. You can make sure that you are at the proper risk level for that trade. Your position size correct, your stop loss is correct, and you manage the money. You're moving the stop loss up as price is moving in your direction. Maybe you move it up to break even +1. Maybe you leave it where it was. Maybe your trade is about halfway to your take profit point and it starts to stall. Maybe you decide to bank some profit there. Maybe you decide to just keep waiting. These are the types of things. And maybe you could even start writing down a list of questions that you're asking yourself while you wait. And then that way, the next time you wait, you can just go down your own little checklist. Maybe it's an exit playbook. Maybe it's a wait playbook. Maybe I should do a video just on, in a way, that's what this video is, but maybe I should actually work on a wait playbook and I can send it out. And let me know what you think about that idea. But, boys and girls, I go over this every day about the risk and not losing more on a trade than you're willing to lose. But keep in mind, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine, and that trading is very risky. You can lose all your money. And since you can lose all your money, if you're seeking financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, please seek it from an accredited financial professional. That way, when you lose your money, some of it or all of it, you know you got your advice from an accredited financial professional rather than some guy you heard on a YouTube video with a funny name, or you read on a trading forum or blog or somewhere else on the internet. Okay, we've got the dollar yen here, and as you can see, it's crossed the daily open, like on each H4 candle has crossed that daily open. Now, since it's the Christmas week and not too much is happening, maybe we can look at a few of the other pairs. Like we can look at the euro here, and you can see here how it touched there right there. But you notice how price is crisscrossing weekly open, which is the daily open, because this is the first day of the week, so it's the same. Okay, let's look at the beast. And you can see here the beast broke through the previous day's low. And the pound dollar, same thing. And if we look at the new beast right here, once again, so you can see the pound pairs are kind of following the same pattern. Now the new beast broke through right here during the Australian, no, actually this is H4. Looks like it must have gone through possibly the end of the or beginning of the London session right here. So that's 1, 2, 3 bars. But if you go back here, 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, and then here on the pound dollar, 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. So you see this New Zealand pair led the way, and then the other ones followed. So sometimes you might be, if you're trading a particular pair, remember pairs are actually currencies. You've got a base currency and a quote currency. And so since the pound was showing short here on this third H4 bar, you could then start looking to the other pairs to see, hey, are they also going to cross that weekly open? Maybe I can pick up that. So if you miss your first pair, your pair of choice, see if some other pairs that share either the base or the quote, whichever one you're looking at, is doing the same thing. So in this case, if you're trading a pound, you see it's going short. But on the other hand, if you were trading a dollar, let's look at dollar CAD. You can see here, dollar CAD, the dollar where it was going, since the pound was going down, that means the dollar was going up. So now you could buy one of these dollar pairs here, like the US Canadian dollar or US Swiss franc, and you can see here how they started going up while those others were going down. So that's just one little trick, how you can use what one pair is doing, and then you split it. You look at the quote, you look at the base, and you can see which way to trade. And coming to the weekly, would you believe all the gaps have filled? Now, last week we had 2 that didn't, but right now we've got all the gaps filling. And you can see right here that the dollar yen is inside the body. It went into the upper wick zone, and then it dropped below by about 8 pips. Only 20 pips of range, not much to write home about. And you can see here the year, the month, the week, and the day, we're red. Now, one thing, and we'll see this in a minute or so, inside bar. We're still putting in the opening range for the week here, for the day, first day of the week range, first day of the month's range, and first day of the year's range. So we're in that shaded area here. But let's just, since once again, we can look at a few other pairs. You can see here, we've got the high for the month was right here, and you see that first day of the month, you can see the euro is just broken out. We're up by 2 pips, and we were up about 6 pips. So once again, that simple crossover. We can look at the pound dollar, and you can see we are back into the first day of the month's range right here. And let's see, was there anything else? So we could look at dollar Canadian. You can see we're way below. And I'm not even sure where. And there's the opening range for the year, opening range for the month. And we're putting in that opening range for the day. Let's see, the Swiss franc. Very interesting. Here's high for the year, low for the year, high for the month, low for the month, and we're putting in day. So you can see where we are. We're back in that range of the day. So for the year, you can see where some of these pairs are in relation. So in other words, if you picked a direction at the beginning of the year, if you guessed right, where would you be? So if you guessed long, you'd be up 11 pips. And that's not much to write home about, right, for a year. But look at the Australian New Zealand dollar. I mean, look at how many pips. Can it even fit on the screen? How far it has fallen. Over 2,000 pips. Euro CAD, over 1,000 pips. So that's kind of looking there at some of the ranges, what's going on. And opening day, opening ranges, you can see where we're at there. Inside bar, we did poke our heads above, but we're in there. And maybe we can look at some of these other. There's an inside bar on the pound. You see we broke below that low. And the pound franc. Oh, and just so you know, the reason why these don't change is something that I did on purpose in the code. I wanted to show if the previous bar was an inside bar, and you just have to click to see where it is, as opposed to if it's, you know, two or more ago. Green means it's above the high, red means it's below the low. And then if you have a gray, like here on EuroCAD, you can see it's within that inside bar. Or here with the Swiss franc, Japanese yen. Once again, it is within that inside bar. But these were done, that was my decision. I just want to know when these inside bars happen. And you can see here, we've also got a monthly inside bar. The last month right there. And you see it blasted right through it. So, once again, these inside bars, fun to trade and can be profitable. But remember, boys and girls, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Range pound. The pound pairs over 100. We got 6 right there. Weekly H1 lowest open. We bounced off, but there's just not that much range. It's just not much to write home about. We saw we took out the pivot. There's the VWAP. Touched it. We're below it. But remember, boys and girls, VWAP is a squiggly line, but I just prefer to get the current VWAP and then I just plot it. But that's not really accurate. It should be a squiggle. And I do have an indicator that does that. In fact, it's not mine. It's one I modified. Pound dollar out of the lower rat zone. There was a nice trade there. Come back for a second helping. Weekly pivot. We've already taken that out. Missed pivots. And boys and girls, I'm about to run out of time here, but I hope you think about it. While next time you're waiting, start writing down what you're actually doing while you're waiting, and it might help you. So, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So, go out there and drain the banks.